It's like a certified dad moment.
Love him to death. This guy has the loudest phone conversations.
Dude, my dad.
No word of a lie.
Speaker on, full volume. Hey, yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's literally my dad the whole
And he
time.
speaks in like fucking Creole. You know?
My dad.
He speaks in like Cajun.
My dad's speaking in some ancient derelict language that no one can understand. I really love that. I love the fact
you
that...
can understand him. No one else can.
Well, it's funny because you said that, and you're not the first person who says that. Everyone tells me, like, who are you talking to? I'm like, oh, it's my dad. They're like, I have no idea what he said. And I'm like, really? I understood every syllable.
Well,
and it's super funny.
Well, I picked up about 75% of what he said to you on the phone, so...
So you're better than most. Most people are just like, did you, like,
you
did you
talking
just
English
speak
right
to
now?
did you just speak to someone with like a disability? And I'm like, no, man.
Oh,
Also,
dude, it's funny number.
oh, funny number, dude. I was so confused. All right.
Cat is very interested. What?
I feel like we just need a dedicated chunk cam.
I was just watching a video right before you showed up of this guy. He's got a farm, and he got one of his barn cats and put a collar on the cat with a camera on it. We should do that with him.
Hell yeah. I do it with Oscar, but it'd be a lot of sleeping, and eating, and then sleeping.
I mean, that's kind of a lot of what he does.
Yeah, but we'll just drop him off in the woods somewhere.
But I would want something I could monitor, so I could pull it up and be like, "Oh, he's chewing on something," and then
Chris
have
is
it
at
like
work,
play
like,
a noise to scare him.
Chris is at work, and he's like, let me just check real quick. And it's just him with a fucking 4-foot HDMI cable halfway down his throat. You're like, I hate this cat.
There was a guy I used to work with at my last job who, he had a baby monitor set up on his counter for his cat. His cat jumped up on the counter, and was like looking at the camera, and it had an audio pass through. He was yelling at his cat in Portuguese.
That's awesome. I love it.
Hello and welcome to the 68th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by our co-host, Alex. You're not Alex.
That wasn't on purpose?
No, it wasn't.
I thought that was on purpose.
Just take this one from the top. Hello and welcome to the 68th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by our co-host, Jordan, and our absentee, sometimes co-host, Alex.
Thanks for joining the show, Alex.
Yeah!
Riveting guy. Riveting guy. I'll just cut out a PNG of him and stick it there. But yeah.
Jordan.
That's me. I know I didn't say that that's me, but yeah, that's me.
Jordan,
Yes.
I have a question for you. It's an important one.
Okay. Some would say. Yeah.
If I wanted to listen to this show on a platform that's not youtube.com, where can I go?
So natively, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast Breaker, Radio Public, and of course, Spotify. We also have my favorite app, my app of choice, some would say, Pocket Cast. We are natively on there. Or you can just take the RSS feed link below, throw it into whatever app you want that supports RSS, and there you go. And if you want to contact us, you can drop a comment on YouTube or reach us via email at synapsemisfire@pm.me or on the Synapse Misfire Instagram, which I haven't checked in a while. But, yeah, find us there. And then there's also a TED Talk that we still haven't really used, but that's also there.
In conclusion, we are useless.
In conclusion.
The only reliable thing about this channel, the only reliable thing is the podcast. This is the only, we've never missed a week.
And now that you said that, we're going to miss a week.
And now that I said that, it's going to be like next time we do this, I'm going to get into like a car accident and blow up.
I will have your corpse on the show. It'll be a closed casket show. I don't care. I'll have just a coffin here, and I'll be like, that's a good one.
I'm going to like snap all my vertebrae, and I'm going to have to do it from the ICU.
It's going to be like a live stream. It's going to just be me in front of a camera, and then like a little window with just you.
And then I flatline on camera.
You have to use like the dial pad that they have to like type.
Doot, doot, doot.
And I'm just
like, that's a funny one, guys.
I'm just like, yo, this guy's hilarious. Hey, Chris.
Doot.
Chris?
Just dead.
Chris. Must be an internet thing. No big deal. As I see nurses like grabbing you.
Like a coroner is there and he's taking my body.
They have a camera going with you into the morgue.
The camera gets cremated with me. There was a quick one.
I was just saying, all in a matter of 5 minutes. Like, how the fuck?
They immediately, it's like a bed to incinerator type program.
They push a button.
It drops you through the floor directly into an incinerator.
Pretty much. But, yeah, I know. We haven't missed a week on this. We've missed numerous IRL videos. We missed our camping trip. We miss uploading on Instagram, TED Talk. We don't do anything besides this podcast. We try, though, sometimes, occasionally, some would say.
Yeah, I guess. So, Jordan, I know you usually ask me this, but I figured I'd ask you.
That's nice. That's
What
kind
have
of you.
you been up to, Jordan?
Should I start with the exciting thing?
Sure.
Should I hit us off on a high note?
Sure.
I have come into the possession of,
You've obtained, come into possession of, legally or illegally,
legally
purchased,
acquired. What's another word? Give me another word.
got.
Received.
What did you get?
A PS5.
For how much?
$563.
Retail price, baby.
Retail price, baby.
You don't see that every day.
You don't see that every day, baby.
Actually, you probably do.
Yeah. But I signed up for Sony's waitlist. I talked about this probably like 5 or 6 episodes ago, maybe more. I signed up for their waitlist. I was at work one day. I was working till 6 o'clock, and I'm just chilling. I'm like, man.
This sucks.
I said, man, this shit sucks. No, not really. But I was just kind of chilling there. I'm like, all right, just waiting the clock down. I get an email. It says PlayStation. I'm like, what the fuck do you guys want? What do you want? What do you think you have to say to me? And it just says, congrats. And I'm like, interesting. Click on it.
Congrats. Yeah! You don't even know what it is.
It's like, congrats,
Woo!
you've tested positive.
You've tested positive for COVID, for HIV. Why is
COVID.
PlayStation emailing you about this? Who knows?
Oh, man. Yeah, PlayStation of all people, or all companies.
They have a pop-out COVID test on the PlayStation 5.
Every time you go to use it, you have to open your mouth in front of the CD drive.
And they stick you in the nose with a little Q-tip.
But it says, you've been selected to buy a PS5. And I'm like, yo, sick. And my ape brain shows a thing that says, like, link. And I'm like, ooh. I click it like 6 times. I get there. I'm like, yeah. And it says, not open yet. And I'm like, what? Huh? So I go back to the email, and it's like, oh, tomorrow. Oh, understood. So, yeah. I ended up buying a PS5. I ended up getting it. I ended up wanting to blow my brains out waiting for FedEx to deliver it. But I ended up getting it. So I get this PS5. Dude, it's fucking massive. It's fucking huge.
It's probably the size of a PlayStation 5.
Roughly. Yeah, roughly.
Wow.
It's huge. Big ass console. I make all this room on my desk. I like yeeted my PS4 to the ground. I'm like, let's go.
That's useless. It's trash now.
Trash. It's just complete garbage. So I boot up some games. I install some games rather. I got Spider-Man. I got Ghost of Tsushima. I got God of War on there now. I install a bunch of games, and I'm waiting. I go to play Spider-Man, and I'm like, doesn't say Spider-Man Remastered. What the fuck? I can't find it in the store, and I'm like, I want the remastered version with the high frame rate and the ray tracing and the different Peter Parker face and all the shit that was added. So then I realized I had to buy it, and I'm like, shit.
That's a bit cringe.
So I upgraded Miles Morales, the Spider-Man Miles Morales game. I upgraded that to the Ultimate Edition for $20 in the menu, and that's what gets you Spider-Man Remastered plus some other shit. I was like, all right, cool. Got Spider-Man Remastered. I started playing it. Let me tell you, 60 frames per second Spider-Man, dude, with ray tracing is like game-changing.
Damn.
So, needless to say, I started from the very beginning without New Game Plus at the time, and I'm going for my 100% playthrough now, and I'm going to try to platinum it. And man, it's so good at 60 frames per second, dude.
Damn.
It's so fucking smooth. Damn. And all the haptic feedback and shit. Oh, it's sick. I can't wait. It looks incredible. I'm running it at 4K, or like, it's like right below 4K essentially, at 60 frames per second with ray tracing.
3.9K.
3.895K.
I see.
But dude, it runs so good. It looks so good. And I'll be honest with you, this is probably a hot opinion, or at least it was a few years ago. But you know how they updated Peter Parker's face and the internet went crazy?
Yeah, and then I immediately forgot about it until you talked about it the other day.
I kind of like it better.
Damn.
He looks more like
You
Peter
killed
Parker.
for that.
He looks a little young, I do have to say. I will probably get killed for that. He does look a little young. But I think it better fits the voice.
I'm still upset. I think they should have just put in a hyper-realistic skin of Tobey Maguire.
With a gray beard and everything like now.
This is believable for like a high school student. I can see this being like a 16-year-old boy. Yeah. And he looks like he's in his 50s.
Well, it makes sense, right? So everyone always complained that in fucking Tobey Maguire's movies, it's like, dude, he's like 35 and he's in high school. But now in the game, it makes more sense because his character's 26. So it's like, there you go. He's just gray bearded. It's no big deal. Just put realistic nowadays Tobey Maguire with gray facial hair.
A real Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. Just put him put him in my monitor and just have him doing things. But
and he's not even dressed as Spider-Man or anything. He's just Tobey Maguire.
He's dressed as who the fuck did he play in Gatsby? Was he Gatsby?
No, he was
Nick, right?
He was Gatsby's buddy. I don't remember
I forget his name.
I've seen the movie actually twice and I don't remember.
I've read the book and I don't remember either. So, Gatsby's overrated. No, it's actually a good book, good movie, pretty good. But yeah, have him playing as him, just in that outfit with that accent, just everything. Just right on the money. But actually, Toby's suit is in the game, which is pretty cool. I forgot they added that.
Yeah, that was
like pretty early on, but I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, that was
this is sick, bro.
I played the game entirely in the Tobey Maguire suit because in my brain that's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I've been playing in the red and black suit from I think it's from Tom Holland's movies, if I'm not mistaken. I like that suit a lot, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, dude, the game runs incredible. I'm fucking in love with it right now. I'm like hard into a playthrough, and I'm just flying through, banging stuff out. Like
it's really
so
interesting. It's really interesting to see, because 2013 PS4 and Xbox One came out, and it was like kind of right before PC gaming really took off.
Yep.
Like, I feel like it really took off 2015, 2016, and then kind of, like, became kind of the de facto platform. Like, most people were playing on PC.
Yeah.
I think.
Roughly, yeah. It definitely took off more going forward, but that was, like, a good launching point.
Yeah, and so they've had this time between 2013 and now to kind of get their shit together. And now they've created a $500 machine that outperforms my $3,000 PC.
Yeah.
Like, without question.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying to, like, people.
It's crazy.
Is, like, my computer, the PS5 could probably fucking knock it on its ass. Like, easily. Like, if it's running Spider-Man 4K, 60 frames per second, I can't even run Control with ray tracing at high settings at 60 frames steady. And that's at 1440. But yeah, my PC struggles with Control at 60 frames per second, 1440.
Yeah.
At like high settings, but this can run that with ray tracing at 60.
My PC at like high settings, 1440 on Red Dead 2 is like 58 frames. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. Pretty much. That's like
if
roughly.
You're lucky, you'll get like 70.
And that's using shit like DLSS too for me sometimes.
I have DLSS on. And so it's been a lot better, but without DLSS, I get between like 40 and 70 frames depending on where I am.
Yeah, and like what you're doing. So the PS5, dude, like, it's a machine. And like you said, at MSRP, it's $500. That shit's less than a fucking 3080.
Yeah. What's interesting too is what I noticed is, you know what game surprisingly struggles on my PC, but I literally haven't noticed because of how slow the gameplay is? SnowRunner. I turned on my frame counter once, and I was getting like 45 frames. Really? And I just didn't notice because of how slow and tedious this gameplay is.
You could literally play it at 15 frames and probably
this isn't me bashing the game. I love SnowRunner. I have over 100 hours in SnowRunner.
Wow.
And I want to pick that game up again because I just got the year 2 pass. And I don't think any year 2 content is out yet, but whatever. that game is like slow, and you have to like really focus on. You have to hyper focus on how your vehicle is moving, and less so about, oh, I'm looking at this big vast landscape. I have to pay attention to what my vehicle is doing and where I'm going and how I can plan this route out so I don't tip over the vehicle and rage quit.
Pretty much.
Legitimately, that's the last video game I quit because I was mad.
Really?
Was SnowRunner.
Wow, I haven't quit a game in a long time for being mad.
I spent hours pulling logs to a destination, and I found out, or I got right at the last turn, like I was looking at the destination, and I flipped the truck over, and the logs spilled everywhere, and I was like, I'm not doing this right now. And I shut the game off.
Understandable. The last game I rage quit, right? Fun fact, was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So I always used to play Call of Duty growing up, and it made me an angry boy. Like, dude, that game is bad for your health. I'm sorry, but it is bad really for your health. So I was trying to get back into Modern Warfare on PC, and I was like, yo, this is sick. I would do good. I'd lose. I'd rage quit. But months went by. I just felt myself getting angrier every day of my life. So I uninstalled Modern Warfare one night and Battle.net.
Actually,
never gone
like,
back.
I don't think I've ever been like more disrespectful to people than when I've been playing Call of Duty, or maybe GTA Online.
GTA Online.
When I was like between like 12 and like 14, like 12 and maybe even 15, I was just the angriest person. I would say the most disrespectful things, and I would make it personal too. Like I would have to know something about you, and then I would say, this will get under their skin. I need to say this to them. It is evil.
Chris was literally...
Kids are evil.
Yeah, Chris was literally a piece of shit.
Like, I wouldn't consider myself a great person now, but, like, compared to how I was... And you get an excuse when you're, like, 14, because you haven't really developed empathy yet.
Yeah.
So, I don't think you develop, like, real empathy until you're, like, at the earliest, like, 18.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly.
You start to put things into perspective in your head.
You start thinking about it like, oh, now I'm thinking about what it would feel like if I was that person. That's horrible. I'm not going to say things like that anymore.
Dude, I go through those little, like, midlife crises sometimes where I'm just, like, at work or something, and I just have, like, a flashback to something in high school that, like, I said to someone.
Like, damn, that was fucked
like,
up.
A group of friends of mine all said to someone, and I kind of sit there and I'm like...
That sucked.
I'm like, wow, that was actually kind of fucking mean. Like, ooh, I kind of wish I could take that back. Like, I wish I could see that person and be like, hey, do you remember that? No? Okay, good. Or yes? I'm sorry. Like...
And it's strange. You do have that, like, moment of self-reflection. I feel like everyone has this at least once, where you think back and you're like, man, I've just been an asshole. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, I know. Because it's funny, because we always joke about, or you always joke sometimes, you're like, you're bringing bullying back. And I used to, like, get bullied in middle school and be like, dude, sucks. And then I think about, like, times that I was technically the bully. And I'm like,
well,
how did that process in my head at the time? How did I hate being bullied and then go to being the bully?
Well, that's what I thought about, too.
It's fucking weird.
Is because, like, legitimately, I would just bully people.
Yeah.
I was a bad person. I was just a piece of shit. But if you can look back and see, yeah, I was a piece of shit, I'm going to decide to not do that anymore. There you go. It's character growth, character development.
It's a good plot right there.
A plot, sure.
Yeah, dude. But that's true. I mean, I'm also in a way happy that I can look back and be like, oh, I was fucking a douchebag. Like, okay.
So if you're listening, do that. Think about what you've done in the past.
Think about it. Think long and hard about it. Just what have you said?
That was crazy.
It's like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have stabbed that one kid in the bathroom.
Maybe that's kind of unforgivable, unless he had it coming.
So yeah, back to Spider-Man. Yeah, it's really good. So my goal, I've never platinumed or 100% completed a game before, My goal is to 100% in Platinum Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and then when Spider-Man 2 comes out, that as well.
Speaking of 100%, I have not touched Red Dead in a couple of weeks now.
It's probably healthy. Was there any specific reason, or are you just kind of like...
I started picking up a different game, and then I started watching Better Call Saul, and that started taking up a lot of my free time.
That's right. You were talking about Better Call Saul. So I take it that's after Breaking Bad.
That's before Breaking Bad.
Before Breaking Bad.
That's 8 years before Breaking Bad. It's the origin story of Saul Goodman. It's very good. The first couple seasons, I think, are definitely weaker than Breaking Bad, but like season 3, especially the finale, is fantastic. The season 4 finale is fantastic. And season 5 is really good. I thought the finale was kind of weak, though.
How many seasons is there? 5 so far or more?
There's 5 so far, and 6 is going to start early next year, and that's the last season. So
that's pretty cool, though. I've always liked that idea of shows that like either go retrospectively or...
Oh, I thought you were just saying like when they know when to end.
Oh, yeah. Like unlike The Walking Dead, where we're like 12 seasons in, nothing's happened in 8 of them. But yeah, no, that too. I like a show that knows when to end. But and isn't just filler.
But the whole retrospective thing, that makes sense. Because it gives more context to the original piece of work.
Yeah.
Like Red Dead 2. I think Red Dead 1 is a much, much better story when you think about the context of Red Dead 2.
Especially because, in my opinion, too, Red Dead 2 gets you in touch with those characters. Yeah. And then Red Dead 1 finalizes it. Like, think about it, right? So, spoilers, 3, 2, 1. If you haven't fucking played it, you shouldn't be listening. But anyway, think about...
If you've listened to the show without heeding the spoiler warnings, you've practically played the game already.
Pretty much. Think about how the plot of Red Dead 1 is killing these gang members that you don't even know.
Yeah, you don't really know.
Now you play Red Dead 2, you fucking play cards with some of them, you play dominoes with some of them, you do heists with some of them.
Yeah. And it's like I was just robbing a bank with this asshole, and now I have to kill him.
You play a game for 90 hours where you're basically start to finish, you're hanging out with these characters, you're losing some of them, you're getting to know them. And then Red Dead 1, as much as it is an older game, you're literally ending their lives of the characters that you are now affiliated with. So it really does make the whole message hit home.
It's interesting to see a prequel that not only gives context but improves the story of the original with context.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely. You don't usually get that very often. So that's why I think prequels can be a good thing sometimes, because
sometimes they can be phoned in, though.
Sometimes they can be phoned in, that's for sure. Like in some cases, I kind of feel like the Borderlands pre-sequel one, where it's a prequel game but it was a sequel to Borderlands 2, is like a little bit overfluffed. It's like, oh, this is basically what happened with the pre-sequel. Yo, Borderlands 2, smash hit success. Everyone loved the guns. Everyone loved Handsome Jack and loved the fucking final boss. We improved from Borderlands 1. Let's make a pre-sequel about Handsome Jack's origin that really doesn't have a lot to do with anything. But
yeah,
in terms of something like Red Dead, yeah, it's really good. So so you think, you were saying with Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, you think it actually enhances the original work?
I don't know. I think Breaking Bad, as far as TV shows go, is like pretty close to perfect, but Better Call Saul, I don't know if it improves. I guess it gives more context to some of the, I guess, antagonists in Breaking Bad, because it's not necessarily just the origin story of Saul Goodman. It's the origin story of Saul Goodman and Mike Ehrmantraut and Gus Fring, and there's all these characters all kind of developing in their different ways. So it gives more context to a lot of other characters that were in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and probably where it picks up in Breaking Bad too.
It's also if you like Breaking Bad, you'll probably like it. All familiar characters, and it's still Vince Gilligan writing these things. And Vince Gilligan's writing is like usually pretty airtight.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Sounds like a good prequel, so actually, you just had me kind of thinking. We were talking about shows after we were just talking about Spider-Man, and it made me think of the new No Way Home trailer, I mean. Did you... So you know how the whole thing is like Toby's in it, Andrew's in it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they've kept it pretty good under wraps, right? Well, there was one specific clip from the trailer that seems to almost, I would say, confirm that they're in it in a way. Have you
Okay.
seen it? The part with the lizard.
No.
So there's a part in the trailer, right? Picture this in your head if you haven't seen it, where it's Tom Holland on the left, and Sandman, Electro, and the lizard on the right. Tom Holland jumps off from the left towards them, right? And he's winding up a punch, basically. He's jumping towards Sandman. Electro is kind of looking off to the side, and the lizard is also looking a little bit below him. Now, in the trailer, as he jumps, it cuts. But in the extended trailer, as he jumps before it cuts, the lizard goes flying back, but nothing touches him. So it seems like there's something
I was
cut out.
imagining too hard.
See some smoke coming out. But basically, they're all kind of 1, 2, and 3, and Tom's in the middle. And as he jumps, the lizard like just goes flying back randomly, and you see him get punched. But there's nothing there. So it seems like they've cut out some footage there, which is pretty cool. And there's also a leak of some behind-the-scenes footage of Andrew Garfield on set. And then if you actually take a shot from the trailer, it's the same set that footage of Andrew Garfield was on, which VFX artists, if you ever watch them on YouTube, Corridor Digital, they're VFX artists. They actually kind of used VFX knowledge and things like that to try to prove that was actually real footage and not just like a deep fake. So it kind of seems like it's leaning more towards them being there. I just have one hope for this movie, Chris. If they're not there, fine. I'll be slightly disappointed, for sure, because I do like the idea of them all being there. But if they are there, I'll be more disappointed if they're there for 5 minutes of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if they're going to be there, they need to be there for, like, an hour. Or, this is supposed to be the longest Spider-Man film ever.
It's
so,
7 hours long.
No, it's close to 3.
Jesus.
Or, like, 2.5 or something. 2 and 40. 2, yeah, it's close to 3 if I'm not mistaken.
3 hours.
They need to be there purposefully. Not just, like, fan service. Like, if they're just there at the end and they're like, hey, what's up, man? And then they're gone.
It's not just like, here's Tobey Maguire.
Here's Andrew Garfield. All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Peace.
Yeah. If they show up for one scene and he gets stabbed and then they're dead and it's over.
He shows up. Tobey Maguire. He shows up. Andrew Garfield shows up too, and they immediately
They get shot.
Tom Holland's like, oh Christ! And he shoots both of them, and they're both just dead.
Oh, shit. You know what I wonder, by the way? How are they going to play it off? Where, if you think about it, and I just thought of this. Tom Holland, he looks very young, right? He has a young complexion like I do, where I look very young. I'm short, very baby-faced.
He's actually pretty young, isn't he? He's like in his early 20s.
Yeah, but he looks like he could pass for like 17,
yeah.
like Spider-Man, right? But I just thought of this. In their respective universes, they're all 17, meaning you're gonna have 6'1" Andrew Garfield.
Oh, this Tobey Maguire actually
next to him, and Tobey Maguire, and he's like, "Yo, I'm 16, bro," and it's fucking Tom Holland. I just thought of that.
Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire is
75.
He was born in 75. So
really?
Yeah, so that means he's
That's 25. He's 46.
He's 46.
He's 46 years old.
Hey guys, it's me, Spider-Man. I'm 17.
So I wonder if they're gonna
he's
try
like 50.
Because he's almost as old as my dad, dude. He's 14 years younger.
What if he's just like
comes out in a wheelchair?
Maybe the universe that he's from has an advanced, like their time is faster.
Yeah, maybe.
Like that was a thing in Invincible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where
as they get older, they age slower.
So their time is faster in that universe. So they come back. So he comes back and he's like 50, and they're like, "Oh, you're old Spider-Man from the Fast universe."
So that's what I was thinking too. Is like if they do something like that, where they're like, "Hey, this is Spider-Man, but he's older," but they can't because Doc Ock, he died when Tobey was 16 in the movie or 17 in the movie. But now he's in the movie, meaning in that universe he's still alive. So there's a lot of plot holes there with the ages.
What's interesting, what I think would be an interesting Spider-Man movie, is you bring back Maguire. He's 46. He and it's a movie that shows, it's a more like kind of comedic movie rather than action, where it shows an aging Spider-Man dealing with the effects of aging. So he's like, oh, I can't web sling like I used to, and he like gets up and he like fights someone, and it's like a story about him kind of losing his confidence in himself because he's getting older. He's like thinking about how he has to hang up his hat. I think that would be an interesting movie.
That would be
Get on it, Marvel.
Do it for us.
I want this movie. I have $20 in my bank account. Let's get it done.
I have $27 right here on the table.
$27. Easy.
Oh, actually, I need $1 for the McDonald's dollar menu. So $26. Take it or leave it.
$26.
That's probably like, that's about the rough cost of a Marvel movie per millisecond.
Yeah, like that is half a millisecond of production. Because those movies legitimately cost like $1 billion or some shit.
Yeah, it's.
Oh no,
crazy.
it's not like $1 billion. That's like $250 million.
Yeah,
it's like $300 million.
Yeah, it's like $300 million bucks. It's a lot of fucking money, but
it is ridiculous how much it costs to make those things.
I am so fucking excited for this movie though. Can't wait. Tickets are on sale 9 days from now. So
damn.
It comes out December 17th, I think, or December 7th. So very excited. But yeah, that was actually perfect because I did want to talk about that. We were already talking about Spider-Man. So yeah, Spider-Man PS5, really good. I'm going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima and God of War. So I don't think I'm going to buy God of War on PC. I don't know. They haven't released the PC specs yet if they release them. And I think my computer could do better than I might.
Yeah, if you have the PS5, you might as well just get that version.
Yeah, I mean, it's locked at 60. So it's pretty much what I want.
So, Jordan.
What's up?
Speaking of video games.
We don't talk about those often.
No, never.
Never.
Have you bought or heard about, I'm sure you've heard about it because I think we talked about it, the GTA remasters? Have you bought them or heard about them? Or...
So
they are a goddamn mess.
So I wanted to buy Vice City.
I wanted to buy the trilogy legitimately before it came out. I was like, oh, I'll buy this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to wait until it's out.
I
waited until it was out, and I'm like, oh.
I almost pre-ordered it. Remember I said I'm not going to do San Andreas because it's coming to VR, and I wanted that to be my first experience with it.
Yeah.
So I was going to play Vice City and GTA 3, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking excited for this. Hell yeah. That's some of the worst games I've ever seen.
It's actually the laziest remaster actually ever.
You know the game is bad when, and they shouldn't have done this in the first place, but Rockstar delisted the originals before the release so you could no longer buy them. You know it's bad when Rockstar, one of the biggest gaming conglomerates ever, right, releases a fucking letter saying, hey, this game is bad, so anyone who bought it can now claim free copies of the originals.
Damn.
And we've relisted them.
Because here's the thing, too.
That game is bad.
The originals will work fine on a modern computer. And with mods, will look better than the remaster. It is the laziest remaster ever because what they actually did was instead of remaking textures, they just used an AI to upscale the number of polygons in each model. Yeah. So they all just still look like shit.
Yeah. Like, I could get over the visuals themselves, but have you seen, like, The Rain, for example?
I saw a little bit of it.
The Rain is just like white lines that just sit on your screen.
It looked like a filter.
Yeah. It looked like a static TV filter, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It is literally a joke. I'm so happy I didn't pay $60 to pre-order that shit.
Well, here's the thing that's worrying now.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
If there's a Red Dead remastered... what's that going to look like? Is it going to be just as shit?
Yeah, hopefully not.
But I think even if they just used the same method and upscaled the polygons, I think the game would look a lot better. Just because of how old and, like, outdated. Like, San Andreas was, like, 04. Yeah. And I think GTA 3 was, like, 02. Or 01. So, those games kind of, like, it makes sense that just upscaling the polygons looks like ass. But I think doing that with Red Dead graphics would look a bit better. But I still don't think they should phone in that remaster if they're going to do it.
So the remaster was passed off to a dev.
Mobile game dev.
Mobile game dev.
which is ridiculous.
From what I've seen, the one thing I have hope for is the San Andreas VR remake, is being made by the same people who made L.A. Noire, the VR case files.
Okay.
Which is a short game, but, as I've said before, a very fucking good game. So, it's more like an experience than a game just because of the way it was ported, but the actual mechanics aren't lazy. Like I've said before, you have to physically shift the car in a drive. You have to take your parking brake off, start the car.
That's interesting.
You got to use the triggers to drive and physically turn the wheel. It's all first person, so it's not lazy. There's some parts of it that are, but I actually still have a little bit of hope for that San Andreas remake.
The only real
I don't know.
VR driving experience I've had like that is in simulators.
Yeah.
Like playing like American Truck Sim or something in VR. Which isn't supported, so if you change the parameters to make it work in VR and it doesn't work how you wanted it to, don't be surprised. Anyway, playing American Truck Sim VR is the only real experience I've had with that, and then even then you still need the physical wheel shifter and pedals.
Yeah.
But I think that's more true to life because you have a physical object, but that's pretty close in VR.
Yeah, exactly. So I have high hopes for the San Andreas one. Just please be good for the VR port of it. But yeah, this definitive edition, like I'll probably buy it eventually. Rockstar said they're gonna fix it. Yet to be seen, but we'll see. I'll probably buy it eventually if they fix it, but it's the worst launch in a long time.
What's an interesting thing to think about now is, well, they botched these ones. These 3 remasters. They just, like, really fucked them up. Now they have something to prove. So we put in a really good Red Dead 1 remaster, and I think that'll bring people back on their side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though as much as I love the games they make, I'm not on Rockstar's side ever.
No, they're a pretty garbage company.
They are a shit company. It's like, oh, we're going to make the best single-player game you've ever played, and then we're going to abandon it to develop a shitty cash grab multiplayer of the game.
Yeah, that's Rockstar's MO.
I have not touched Red Dead Online, but I do want to play it simply because, like, if I feel like if we got like 4 or 5 of us together and we all played Red Dead Online,
It'd be
or
pretty
a bunch of hooligans, I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun for that.
But here's the thing. It's definitely, I already know it's like GTA Online, where it's like, they already have the 2 currencies.
And you can buy the currencies with real money.
And you buy it's gold bars.
Mm-hmm.
You buy them with the real money. It's like a fucking mobile game. This game costs $60.
Yeah.
And it is one of the best story experiences I've ever had in a video game. And you're just going to give that up?
Yeah.
You know how much praise you would get if you just like brought in the writers and just wrote like a 10 or 20 hour story DLC of like with like Sadie or Charles or someone?
Yeah.
You know how good that would be?
Yeah. That's true. I definitely agree with that. I wish they would. I really wish they would. Well, just give us, like you said, I hope, if anything, I hope this isn't a sign of what's to come with the Red Dead 1 remaster if it happens. I hope it's a sign of, oh shit, we got to prove something, so let's make this rock solid optimization. Let's launch it on all platforms at once, not like we did with GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 where waited a year for PC and GTA 5 waited like 3. But get this bitch to launch on all platforms, get it rock solid, make it even more beautiful, because that game still looks really good. It really does.
It does.
It's just that the hardware it's on to run the game is kind of ass. So get me that at 60 frames per second. Even if they didn't even really change the graphics, I wouldn't even be that mad. Just port it to PC.
No. Yeah, honestly, I think the game looks fine. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look terrible, though.
Yeah.
There was definitely a line, I think they jumped this when you got to like the 360 and PS3 era. I gotta redo those ties, by the way.
Yeah, I'll do them after. I realized.
When you get to the 360 PS3 era, I think that's, I guess maybe that's because like when I started playing video games. So
I suppose
that's my line of like, oh, this looks acceptable.
Yeah.
I'm not angry at how this looks.
Mm-hmm.
But you go back further, I'm like, oh, this looks like dog shit.
Like San Andreas
I hate
and
this.
shit. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Why is that person Why does that person have 90-degree angles on their arm? Why does it look like that?
Yeah,
Why is his head made of like 4 squares? What's happening?
I ain't playing SpongeBob, boy.
I guess.
Yeah, dude.
Why is his head made of 4 squares? But you could say that about Minecraft, and I love Minecraft. But Minecraft's got an aesthetic.
Minecraft has an aesthetic, and also mechanically is much more complex.
It's mechanically a modern game.
Yeah, so there's a lot to it. So it's, that's like saying Stellaris, right? Isn't that the name of that game? The really polygon, fucking looking one. Or there's also Terraria as well.
Oh, yeah, they're
Terraria.
the same sort of vein.
Like
But that's an aesthetic. I
that's
think.
an aesthetic, but it's still a modern game.
It still plays like a modern game. The Christ, I lost my train of thought. GTA, that's what I was thinking about. GTA 5.
Grand Theft. Yeah.
It's coming to PS5.
Mm-hmm.
This game is the new Skyrim.
Yeah. Skyrim actually just came out again, or is coming out soon?
Just came out again, I believe.
For PS5, which they added some cool shit. I'm not gonna lie.
They did the 10th anniversary edition.
Not gonna lie. I might pick it up for PS5 for one reason. They added a survival mode where you need to sleep, eat, drink, and stay warm.
Oh, like
I thought that was kind of cool.
Like in Fallout.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I've never played Skyrim before, so I might.
You've never played Skyrim?
Never played as in never played to beat. I've played like, oh yeah, let me pick this up, stab some dudes, fight some shit, and I'm done. And I tried Skyrim VR, but I was like, yeah, this is okay, but it was on PSVR at the time, so it's like, this kind of shit.
But I think Skyrim is kind of a universal experience. I think like everyone needs to experience Skyrim once.
Yeah.
It's like a rite of passage thing.
Yeah, I probably will on the PS5, honestly, with this new survival mode they added, and you can toggle it on and off, so if you're like sick of it or whatever, just turn it off.
The annoying thing, if I remember right, about Fallout, at least Fallout 4 survival mode, I think if I remember rightly, the really annoying thing is ammo has weight. So each bullet weighs like 0.1 or something. So you can only have so many bullets.
Yeah. Yeah, in a game like Fallout, that's kind of rough. But at least for Skyrim, you don't have to worry about bullets.
Yeah, but arrows.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I don't know. It depends how it's limited, because like I run out of carry capacity really quickly. But within your first hour and a half, you get a companion that has an unlimited carry capacity.
Oh, really?
So you just give all your stuff to her, and she carries it.
There you go. But yeah, I think I might pick it up for PS5. I'm not paying full price for it, though, because I don't want to give them that money. I'm just going to wait. I'm either going to buy it like pre-owned at GameStop or something, or I'm just going to wait until it eventually inevitably hits a sale of like $20.
I have the original release on Steam, and then I played Special Edition on Game Pass. And like, man, it really doesn't look that different.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So I don't really have high hopes for this 10th anniversary edition.
Yeah, it was mostly just modes, and they added new enemies types to the game and stuff like that. So like new enemies that weren't in the original. They added a couple things that are cool, especially for someone who's never played it. But
new Skyrim just dropped.
New Skyrim just dropped. Yep. So yeah, GTA is gonna be the same way though. Like I heard when GTA 5 was shown on the PS5, they were like, haptic feedback, instant loading, and this, and I'm just like,
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not gonna buy the game for this platform.
Yeah. Speaking of instant loading, actually, I meant to mention with Spider-Man, the video I showed you, dude. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how I can physically load into Spider-Man on PS5 in 3 to 4 seconds. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy, dude.
It's light speed, baby.
Light speed, baby. But it also sets like a new standard now where I'm like, man, what the hell's gonna happen if like my PC can't do this?
Like you boot up a game on your PC and you're like 4 seconds into loading. You're like, why am I not playing? What's happening? My PC's broken.
I'm pissed, bro. I do have to say though, it is awesome. Just for like, I feel like now I can just pick up and play real quick. Versus like the PS4, if I wanted to play an exclusive, I'm like, I gotta hit the button. I gotta wait 8 seconds for it to spin up to 1,000,000 RPMs on the fans and then boot up. and then it boots up, and then I log in, and I click the game, and then I can, I don't know who the hell I was talking to, but I was like, yeah, on this, I select the game, I look away, I look back, and I'm like, oh, I'm here. On the PS4, I was like, I turn it on, I select the game, I go run a marathon, I come home, I eat breakfast, I go to work, I get a new job, and then I get a promotion, then I get laid off, and then the economy crashes, and then I'm ready to play God of War.
Yeah, like I boot up the PS5 or PS4. Cause I have a launch PS4, so it's worse. I boot up the PS4. I select Red Dead Redemption 2. I go out, I meet someone, I father 4 children, send them to college, I grow old, I'm on my deathbed. Oh, I can play now.
Ah, there's an update. Fuck.
Oh, man. Maybe next time, and then I die.
Yep, there you go.
Like,
that's pretty much how it is playing on like a launch PS4 or even like PS4 Pro.
It just brings me back to the 360 with GTA loading screens. If you wanted to jump directly into online, you were going to be in a loading screen for, no joke, like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Even if you if you just wanted to jump in as single player, you were going to be in the loading screen for at least a minute.
Yeah. No, 100%.
That game was so ass.
100%. Yeah, they talked about GTA 4 getting remastered as well.
Really?
I'd be pretty excited for that. I love GTA 4 way more than GTA 5 in my opinion.
Really? GTA 4, I never really could get into it.
No. I think it has the equal, if not slightly better story than GTA 5. I like the main character more than GTA 5's characters. Like Franklin's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Michael's okay. I don't really like Trevor that much, but Franklin's really good. But in GTA 4, I love the story, love the characters, love the gameplay, and in my opinion, if you actually go on YouTube and look at a breakdown of the different physics, GTA 4 kind of has like way better physics than GTA 5. Like, for example, one of the biggest things, GTA 4, you hit a head-on collision in a motorcycle, you just go flying. GTA 5, you hit a head-on collision, you fall straight to the ground. It's just one of the physics in the game. You just head-on collide, and you just kind of go right down. So, like, it's just, dude, the interaction in GTA 4 is just so good. Like, I have a feeling, like, Red Dead 2 is almost based off of that interaction more than GTA 5.
Wow. GTA 5 is definitely unique with the 3 protagonists thing.
Yeah, no,
but,
for
like,
sure.
going back and playing it, I played, like, most of the game, like, somewhat recently.
Oh, yeah, I do remember you talking about
I played, like, halfway through the game, and then I just, like, in a couple of days, I played, like, halfway through the game. I'm like, I'm not going to touch this again. But I've just noticed, like, the only really, really likable character is Franklin. Michael's a piece of shit, and Trevor is just fucking insane.
Yeah.
He eats people.
And I'm also really mad that they did Johnny dirty from the biker gang in GTA 4.
Oh, yeah.
Where Trevor just kills him in the opening
immediately
scene.
gets his head stomped in.
You made a game where he was the character. There was a DLC for GTA 4 where he was the main character, and he was a really likable character, and they just kill him off. Actually, did you know there's, in Spider-Man for the PS4 or PS5, there's a Easter egg for GTA 4?
Is there?
One of the side missions, you're crawling up a wall to peek through a window and listen to this, like, gang talk. And the gang leader, his name is Nico, and he sounds just like Nico Bellic from GTA 4. And he talks about his cousin Roman and going bowling. And maybe it's really funny, dude.
Yeah, maybe if they remaster it, I'll play it and I'll have a different opinion. But
yeah, maybe. I can't wait. I kind of want to replay through GTA 5 story, but I don't want to buy it. I have it on PC. I don't want to play it on PC. I'd probably want to play it on PS5. I'm not buying it. I refuse to pay for it. Not for the 5th re-release. So.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why do they gotta do that?
God only knows. Also, PS5 storage is rough, dude. I have like 6 games installed. I have like 200 gigs left.
It's like, what, 750 gigs or something?
It's like 678 or something. Yeah.
They gotta be on that, because games aren't, 10 gigs anymore.
Spider-Man was 102 or 110.
It is not uncommon. In fact, it is very common to see a game, a AAA release that is 100 plus gigs.
Yeah.
Like Red Dead 2 installs like 110.
Yeah.
Call of Duty. I don't
Call
know
of
the new
Duty.
one.
Call of
Modern
Duty is
Warfare.
close to 200 gigs.
Modern Warfare is like 200 gigs.
Yeah.
Even lesser known, I guess still technically AAA, but lesser known games like Dirt Rally is like 100 gigs. Forza is like 100 gigs.
Yeah, I tried to install Forza 5 the other day, and I literally experienced exactly what you did. I hit install, and I was like, 110 gigs. All right, fine. I walked away. I came back like 15 minutes later, and it stopped. I was like, all right, I'm not installing this.
Yeah, I'm not doing
I was like, okay, I'm done. All right, bye. Now I'm never going to play Forza 5. So, whatever. Oh, by the way, PS5 controller, fucking mint. It's a pretty good controller, not going to lie. Meant to talk about that before, but yeah, it's a good controller. I might actually try to use it for like something on PC. I heard it's supported now, and it's even supported on Android now, which is cool. So,
wow,
I
can use my phone.
Hell yeah, brother. But Chris, we've had a general discussion about gaming for most of the episode.
We've had a little gaming banter.
A little gaming banter, some would say. Perhaps a PS5 discussion. I'm reading the notes in case you're wondering, for context. What have you been up to? I know we're doing a short podcast session today because Chris thinks it's acceptable to want to complete his work for his like $30,000 college. Like,
the episodes aren't going to be shorter. Just the amount of time physically that Jordan and I are together today is shorter.
Yeah, and that's also why Ghost Alex isn't here.
And Alex,
Ghost Alex is here. And
Alex is going for the same reason. He gets it worse than I do. He's an engineering major, so he gets got hard. I'm a computer science major, and this is the first time I've had like more than 3 assignments due on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So I have probably like 5 or 6 things due tomorrow and Monday.
Yeah.
So I got to take care of that.
Yeah, Chris just thinks it's acceptable to want to complete his work for that college degree. Like that will ever help you in life. You know what'll help you in life? Synapse Misfire.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, I was talking to our boss, and I basically said, like, we're talking about career development, and I just looked at him. I was like, you want to know what my ideal career scenario is? I was like, I work here. And I was like, and then as Synapse Misfire blows up, and Chris and I become well-known podcasters, and then I quit this job.
We're gonna become well-known podcasters, and we're gonna sit here laughing and smoking cigars.
Yeah, and then he was like, you'd have to become, if you do sponsorships, you'd have to become like a spokesperson for that company. I was like, no. We only take sponsorships that let us say whatever the fuck we want.
Because there are companies like that. They're just like, just do whatever, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. So, any publicity is good publicity.
Sure. What he said. So, you know what else I've been up to?
I don't, actually. Enlighten me.
I've been at school. And at school, there was an incident that made me think about something.
Ooh, Chris did a little think.
This is like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
The entirety of one day, it was like a Monday or a Wednesday, there was a guy who periodically throughout the day, this happened like 5 or 6 times, or maybe it was even less, but it was just so annoying that I thought it happened more times. He would walk out to his motorcycle. He had a red motorcycle, a sport bike.
Ooh.
And he would start it, wait a second, and then rev the shit out of it for like 30 seconds.
Why?
He would just like, you'd hear ring, 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 because he wants to be annoying. I don't know. It was obnoxious, and I hated it every time. Like, stop doing that. Don't do that. Ever.
Yeah, that sounds pretty annoying.
So, I wrote a little thing about this. This is something I was thinking about. I think, this is my proposal. We need to make it illegal to just act a fool in public. You should immediately be removed from society for a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do shit like that. And when I say, what did I put here specifically? just being a nuisance is what I mean. Like just revving your car or bike unnecessarily, playing music on a Bluetooth speaker rather than headphones, playing music way too loud in your car, things like that. Just being annoying. Just
blocking the shopping aisle.
Blocking the shopping aisle, you should be shot for that. Just blocking traffic. Stop being obnoxious, is my point.
Want the Cargo Bob from GTA to just pick up their car.
You should be, when you do this, you should maybe, like, get a fine at first, and then your second offense, you immediately get placed on, like, 30 days of house arrest. Like, you just can't enter society until you've learned your lesson. And, like, don't do this, because then it's going to happen again. And then next time around, you go on house arrest for, like, 60 days, and then 120 days, and then 10 years. You get sentenced to life in house arrest. You can't enter society ever again.
Yeah.
And then you just get killed. That's it.
Chris, President, 2024.
2024, I'm running. I'm not old enough to run for president, but
Yeah, I know. What do you have to be, 35?
35.
Yeah.
So
you're close, only, 15 years?
yeah, something like that.
A little over, or about 3/4 of your life now.
So, was 15 years from now. It'd be 20, oh, Christ, 2036. So, 2036, so there's 24, 28, 32, 36.
40.
2040, I'm running for president. 2040, and that's going to be my first action as president. If you act like a nuisance in public, you get placed on house arrest immediately.
I'm not going to lie, Chris. The fact that you just said 2040 and I actually thought of a possibility of either us being recording a podcast or just being alive in 2040, that's fucking crazy.
What's crazy about 2040?
I was born in 2001.
Yeah? You don't think you're going to live until 39?
I think I am, but I don't want to hear the number 2040, dude. Fucking crazy. That just doesn't sound right.
Let's think, like, by the time you die, it's probably going to be, like, 2075 or, like, 2085.
Yeah. Like, if I live to 90, it's going to be 2091.
If you live to 100, it'll be 2101.
Now I have to live to 100. I'm just going to do it.
I'm going to live to 2100.
I'll make them. If I die, I'll make them postpone my death certificate. Let me just sit in that spot until 2101.
It's like you die in like 2030 and you're just sat in a chair for fucking 71 years. And then you're like, the clock strikes midnight on 2101. January 1st, 2101, and your bones spring back to life. And like, just your bones. Yeah! And you fall into dust. That's it.
Pretty much, dude. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, though. 2101. I remember... Oh, my God. I remember saying this to my mom when I was, like, 4. And then also seeing this a few weeks ago on, like, a TikTok or something. Or, like, on fucking Reddit. And just laughing my ass off when I was, like, I was born in 2001, so if I live to 100, I'll make it to the year 3000. My mom was like, you're a fucking idiot.
You are a moron.
My mom was like, you're not mine.
This was 2095, 2096, 2097, 2098, 2099, 3000. I think that makes sense.
You carry the 1, right?
Yeah, you just skip a place.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, man. Yeah, I said that to her, and I was like, so fucking
What do you think
stupid.
the world's going to look like in 2040, Jordan? No, 2050. Let's go jump out a little further.
I genuinely have no idea. I think for sure 2050, so that's roughly 30 years from now, like 29 years from now. Actually, technically like 28 years because we're very close to the new year. I would say VR is going to be fucking huge, or some sort of VR / neural network interface is going to be fucking huge.
Because I imagine, like, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, all those social media platforms are going to fall by the wayside. They're going to go the route of MySpace. What do you think top social media platform 2050? What do you think it's going to be? What do you think the concept is going to be?
Okay. We're talking concept. It's gonna be a VR common space.
A VR. I like the idea of that, kind of like VR chat.
Yeah,
But it's
probably like
common
Facebook
space.
Horizons, essentially, which is what they're.
I
aiming
was
for.
thinking of because I think the biggest trend right now is short videos.
Yes, that's almost like Vines in a way. Yeah, but even longer
They
now.
essentially TikTok has nailed the formula. That's like you have, I think now 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But most of the videos on that platform are like less than 30 seconds. I think they've nailed it. Because it's like, you can't stop scrolling. It's difficult to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking maybe rather than a like short video, it's just like a short VR experience. You know, 5 minutes maybe, and it's just like something wacky or something cool.
Yeah, that is definitely true. You ever notice that TikTok's layout is very similar to like dating apps?
I've never used a dating app, so I don't know.
But you've never seen like anything on Reddit?
I mean, I've seen like what Tinder looks like, I guess, yeah.
It's got like a similar layout in a way. So I'm like, I've always thought about that. I'm like, I wonder if there's like some sort of subliminal messaging kind of tied to that. But I do agree with the whole swiping. It's like, you just get in this rhythm. It's like, oh, it's funny. Oh, it's not as funny. Oh, it's funny. And you're just like going. And before you know it, you're like, oh, it's been an hour.
Oh, shit, it's 3 a.m. I've legitimately had that happen to me before. I was like, okay, it's like 11 o'clock. Put my phone on the charger. I'm going to boot up TikTok, scroll through for like 20, 30 minutes. And I'm going to go to bed. And I'm like, oh, it is fucking 2:30 in the morning. I should go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah,
they nailed the platform because, like, you open the app and you're immediately looking at a video. Or an ad in this case.
Or an ad, but it's still a video ad, so.
But, and you know they've made it because every other platform is trying to copy them. You know,
YouTube Shorts.
I don't know how often you use Instagram, but Instagram Reels.
Yep.
They basically, hang on, let me complain about this for a minute. They basically made Instagram unusable with that update. They've turned all the videos into Reels. Mm-hmm. So now if you tap on a video to unmute it, it brings you to Reels. Mm-hmm. It doesn't unmute the video. It just full screens it. Like, this is obnoxious. I hate this.
I agree.
And now I found myself using Instagram a lot less because of this.
Yeah. Have you, with Instagram, I meant to ask this. Does your phone only let you swipe one, like, post at a time?
No.
My phone does, and it's weird. Like, if I swipe as fucking hard as I want, it'll jog to the next post.
Oh, you can't just, like...
Nope.
Oh, that's weird.
I'll show you after. I can't now, because camera, but I will show you after. It's fucking weird, and it's annoying, and it makes me not want to use it very much.
Huh.
So, yeah. There's that.
But, conceptually, future VR. Future, 2050... Let's think. What do you think music's going to be like in 2050? Because we did social media. That's pretty big. Music, 2050.
Music, it's going to sound almost stereotypical, but, like, very, like, Cyberpunk 2070-ish, where it's all, like, super high-pitched. Like, what's the word for it? Is it, like, EDM in a way? Like, electronic dance music?
I guess.
It's kind of like that. I feel we're going to have a lot more of, like, high-pitched, like, fast-paced music. Because everything's getting faster and faster. Like you said, TikTok, it's getting to be shorter videos rather than longer videos. It's just going to be, like, fucking crazy beats that are just really high-pitched, really fast, and just sudden. So, yeah. And a lot of neon. I definitely think neon will become a thing.
You think so?
I think so, because even, like, I mean, this is obviously something so minuscule, but, like, gaming hardware starting to have RGB a lot more. Cars are starting to have RGB lights in them on the doors, in the cup holders, under the floor. Like,
I was going to call you on this, but no, it's true. My car, it's not RGB, but it has lights in the cup holder and in the floor pans, the footwells. And it's not RGB, but you can select between like 5 or 6 different colors.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you put an RGB controller in it, they would be RGB.
Yeah. Because
it's like you can do, I think you select from like red, green, purple,
probably orange, yeah,
or blue.
Yeah. So it's pretty much RGB, but it's just limited.
And I have it set at red because every other color is stupid. Because the ST things on the seats are red.
Red, so why would you want like purple?
And the interior is all black.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
But I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot more RGB. Like VR headsets eventually. Like, think about it. Eventually a VR headset like the Quest 2. Very, I don't want to say minimalist because it is a huge box you strap to your head, but it is. It's just a white box. That's it. It's not even really any branding on it.
That's what.
In the future, there's going to be fucking RGB VR headsets.
I think there's going to be 2 camps. There's going to be branches. I think it's going to be rampant consumerism. People have way more things than they need, and there's going to be that camp of people, and then there's going to be kind of a minimalist camp of people who have almost sort of going back to like I don't want to get a bit collegiate here, going back to like transcendentalism with like Henry David Thoreau and stuff, where it's like I only have what I need, and that's all I want.
And do you think those needs are going to change too, where it's not like I only have what I need, I have maybe a TV, and then food and shelter and a bed and heat? Do you think it's going to be, I only have a PS7 because the PS8 is out, or I only have a 5-year-old phone because consumerism is bad for the environment?
It's an interesting thing to think about too.
Or is it going to be like Wolfman, when I live in the woods, I survive off the land?
I don't think it's going to be like that. I think, but that's an interesting thing to think about. Is like I think the like bare minimum for people
is going to change
over the years has increased. Like my bare minimum, 2021, my bare minimum, like wood fire stove, a bed, food, water, and then like probably like a laptop. Legitimately.
Yeah, I would need something gaming related that can play modern games.
That's
like my only hobby that I enjoy.
I could honestly do away with the gaming almost completely.
Really? Yeah.
I think I could do it with enough dedication, but like something like going on like YouTube and like fucking Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and stuff. I don't know. That'd be much more difficult for me to give up.
Yeah.
I think.
When I was like 8, I had an argument with my mom or whatever about video games, and I was like, they're not even that important to me. I could just give them up. And she was like, no, you couldn't. So I just quit playing video games for a year. I packed up my whole desk, and I just didn't play video games anymore. Now, as an adult, I'm just like, I could, like, theoretically, I could go, yeah, I don't want to play video games anymore just because, like, whatever, I'm just going to do it because I don't want to. But the problem is, any hobby I think of that I'm like, yeah, I could fill it in. Like, okay, I could go to the gym. Okay, cool. I could read more, or I could do this more. I immediately go, I wouldn't be as happy. So, therefore, there's no incentive. Like, I've been looking into gym memberships and stuff, and we plan on going soon. But if I was to say, you know what, I have to give up gaming because it's bad for me, and I want to seek something else out, there's nothing that comes to mind that I'm like, you know what, yeah, it'd be worth the trade-off.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's, when it comes to like hobbies like that, because like you're obviously a much bigger gamer than I am. Like I've been playing a lot more games lately, but honestly, I'm not a huge gamer. I have a lot of games, but I don't play a lot of games.
And you also don't usually follow it like I do too. I'm always like up to date.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know Guardians of the Galaxy was coming out a week before it launched. So
no, I didn't.
Like things like that. I'm in the fucking community. We'll call it.
I'm not a big gamer. But I feel as though like if it's a hobby that you're really into and it's not like inherently harmful.
Yeah.
If your hobby's like
doing
gaming
crack,
and not like heroin, keep with it, you know?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I think there needs to be a balance, which is something I've like worked on recently. I'm trying to find a balance, hence why we plan on going to the gym and stuff eventually, because there does need to be a balance. Because gaming can be harmful if it's the only thing you do. Like there's people who are literally addicted to it.
Yeah, if you just like you don't work, you don't shower, you don't
just
eat, and you just play video games.
That can be
then
bad.
That's harmful. Sure.
But as a hobby, as like something you just do, it's not something I would want to give up because there's just nothing else that interests me. Like as much as I have become interested in cars and things like that, and I was I wanted to kind of pursue a little more knowledge, obtaining a little more knowledge about it and maybe getting a little more hands-on with it, I'm like, I also don't want to. I'm like, yeah, I would like to, but if I have to give up something I'm doing now to do that, then it's just not something I'm interested in.
The only thing that's preventing me from doing that, legitimately, the only thing is like, man, I really want to hold on to as much money as possible.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to dump money into a project car just on principle. Like, it's not even that I don't have the money.
You just don't want to.
I very well could go out and get a project car and dump, like, some money into it. But I'm, like, not really interested in spending, like, 10 grand on a car.
Yeah, no,
Especially considering I have a car that I already pay for that I like.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, I was talking to our boss about it because I was kind of joking with him. Because when I did the front end on Letsy's Corolla, it was probably the most fun I've had working on a car because it was just involved.
You did a full front end?
Not a full front end, but basically I did the hub and bearing, ball joint, and I did part of the tie rod, but we didn't end up going through it because she didn't want to buy it. But basically, the only thing that wasn't touched really was the axle. Everything else was pretty much replaced, and technically the tie rod. And I guess you could specify strut. We did have it out, but we didn't actually replace it. We were just kind of checking it. She had a shitty front end, basically. Technically, she needs a new axle, but she won't listen to me. But anyway, so we did like a pretty big job on it, and it was the most fun I've had working on a car because I felt just involved enough where I felt a bit of satisfaction, like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, I was like, I felt comfortable doing it. I wasn't like, ooh. Like, if you told me, I was talking to the giraffe at work, and if you told me to replace a head gasket on my car,
I'd be like, ugh.
I would love to do it. I would love to work with someone and do it.
Exactly.
But I would not attempt it.
I would love to do said thing under someone's guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to help me with it, go right ahead. Because he's a master tech. He's, like, very talented.
So I asked him that.
But I'm not. I would need someone who knows what they're doing.
I even asked him. So I've referred to him as a master tech once, and he was like, I'm not even close to that. And I'm like, really? And then I asked him about the head gasket. I was like, yeah, have you ever done one? He was like, I would steer totally clear of it. I'm like, really?
Wow.
I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, just don't fuck with it. He was like, just take it to someone who specializes in it. I'm like, damn. That's surprising.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, now I know for sure I'm never attempting it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what I was telling him. So I was telling our boss, I was like, I'm doing a bunch of work to my car soon, like in the spring specifically. I'm not doing this shit in the winter. I'm pretty much doing the front end on my car. I'm doing the struts, the entire knuckle assemblies in the front, and the rear end hub and bearing assembly all at once. I'm just trying to knock it all out, doing tie rods, ball joints. And I was telling him, and he was like, oh, is it a good investment? And I was like, well, no, it's a piss poor investment. I'm putting the value of the car in work. I'm paying like $1,300 for these parts, and the car's valued at like $14. And I was like, but in a weird way, I'm investing in my own knowledge because as much as I know how to do it for the most part, it's a little more hands-on experience. Yeah. And I kind of want to do it. So I'm like, that's like the extent I would go to. Like, I would love to do like modifications to this car or get a project car or something. But I'm just like, I don't have the time to sacrifice to do that as of now. Nor do I have a comfortable working space. Like, we work in your driveway sometimes, or like I'll go to my dad's, and it's fine. My dad has a lot of tools. You have tools here that we always do like little projects, but I don't have my own space like at a house with a garage where I have my own tools or like even like a portable lift or anything. Because like who the fuck, like I would love to attempt the fuel filter in my car. It's in the gas tank. But the problem is I'm not going to waste my time trying to drop the gas tank without a lift.
And yeah, because you would either have to go to your dad's house, come here, or just drop it in the middle of the street where you park.
Yeah. So I'm just not doing it. So I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to do what I can without killing myself to, I guess, just get more familiar with it. But yeah, it's a pretty piss poor investment, but I have a lot of work I want to do. That strut's loud.
Turn it into an SS. Strap a supercharger to it.
Well, I was joking. I was like, it's kind of should be the same platform pretty much. So I could totally make it a fucking manual.
I don't know if it's a 1-to-1 with the actual engine.
I wouldn't think so.
But I'm sure like, I'm talking about the SS. But if you just grab like the transmission from a manual version of that car, you could definitely just.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot more difficult than just. But you know.
I'm like, no, watch this. I lift the car. See?
Done. You start it up, and you're like, oh, I can't shift into any gear.
I don't replace the shifter. I have the same shifter, so it's just drive. And I'm like, oh, wait.
Jordan, did you put oil in the transmission? Did I put what? Drop your transmission pan and it's just, oh, there's all my gears. There's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, right here.
Chris is like, "What is this?" I'm like, "That's the extra gears. They came with it.
That's 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Yeah, I put them in there. I thought that's where they went. I thought that was a cover to store them.
No. That's your gears. That's first through fifth, and reverse too. I don't know how you did it.
Oh man, yeah. So pretty much, I have work I want to do there, but we talked about this before the show. I don't know if any of it got on mic. I don't think so, but I wish there was like 4 hours more in the day. Like I wish people were like, hey, the day's 28 hours.
This up.
Yeah, that's right. We were setting up the curtain or whatever, the drape.
If there was like 4 more hours in the day, yeah, I would get a lot more stuff done because, right, dedicated sleeping time.
Yep.
You got to factor that in. But having my regular working time and then an additional 4 hours on top of that would be quite nice.
It would be awesome. Yeah.
28-hour day, legislate it. It's going to throw up the whole balance of everything.
And the whole
legislate
world will
it, make it work.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be like, what's today? Thursday. It's dark between 7 a.m. and like 2 p.m. And then it's completely bright out from like 2 p.m. to like, it would have to go.
Instead of a 12-hour clock, we go to 14. So 14, and then it goes 1 through 14
So
again.
it's dark from like 2 p.m. to like 14 a.m.
Already confusing.
It's completely bright out. It's like, oh, it's in the middle of the day.
It's like, yo, check out how bright it is. What time is it? It's 2 a.m.
What are you doing? I'm working night shift. Night shift? How do you know when it's night? Well, it's 2 a.m. right now, and it's a clear sunny day out.
There's like birds flying around chirping, dude.
That's
Kids are at
interesting. Because I saw something on Reddit about metric time. Like every day has 10 hours, or it's 14 hours or something, and 1 hour is 100 minutes. But just because you change how we count the time doesn't change how long it takes the Earth to rotate.
Yeah.
You're still missing 41 minutes in that system. It's 40 minutes. It's 1,440 minutes in a day. If you just have 14 minutes or 1,400 minutes in a day, you're still shy by a lot.
Every day. Yeah, 40 minutes. That means literally every week you would fall back numerous hours.
So.
That's weird.
But or we just slow down the rotation of the Earth, so it's 28 hours.
What if we all run, right? So the Earth's rotating this way, just say, right? So what if we all run that direction and kick it back the other way?
That could work. Or we get a really strong, like, rocket. What? A really strong rocket and put it on the ground and just... And it blows the opposite direction. So it slowly kind of starts turning the Earth the opposite way. Just enough so it slows down the rotation so it makes it 28 hours.
So. Yeah, there you go. What about, even better? Even better. Why didn't we think of this? Why don't we just get a really big magnet and just, flip the polarity and push the sun away and then pull it back in and we dictate the time?
I don't think that would dictate the time. That would just dictate the temperature on Earth. Like, they got the
really cold or really hot.
Oh, they got the magnet out. It's negative 325 degrees on Earth right now.
Actually, you know how the speed of light, it takes like roughly 8 minutes for the actual light to go from the sun to here?
Yeah.
I was watching something. How would that affect temperature?
What do you mean? It's just the heat source is getting further away.
No, I know, but you still have that 8-minute delay for the speed of light.
Oh, the same... that's an interesting one. I think the same amount of light is still getting to you for 8 minutes.
Yeah, and then it would start to decrease. So essentially you'd have the same amount of light for 8 minutes, but if you pushed it further away, it would get darker and darker and darker. Also, when I said pushed it away, I totally fucked that up. I meant, like, turn it. Turn it away around, because we obviously revolve around the sun. Pushing it away, actually, what pushing it away technically would do, Chris, is create seasons. You're dictating the seasons because you're just ultimately making it farther away.
Well, it depends how far you push it.
Well, yeah, it depends how far. I'm not pushing out of the galaxy, baby.
You're gonna put the entire Earth into a
ice age,
absolute zero winter.
Hell yeah, brother!
You walk outside and you immediately die.
It's gonna be Ragnarok, dude.
What?
I don't think you'd even have to walk outside. I think you would just die.
What do you want?
You look so fucking angry, dude. He's mean mugging right now.
He's mean mugs everyone. He gets it from me.
All right, Sean, round us out. Do the outro.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good one, buddy.
All right, Chris, are we done?
Yeah. This is a long one.
I know. It's probably one of our longest ones in a while.
All right, we're done with the show. That's episode 68, Synapse Misfire Podcast. 68.
Next episode's funny.
Next one's hilarious. So, Jordan, remind everyone where you can find the show.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, and of course Spotify. There's also Pocket Cast. That's my podcast app of choice. And as always, there's the RSS feed linked down below. Import it to your favorite app. Comments, questions, concerns, death threats sent via email to synapsemisfire@pm.me or YouTube comment section or Instagram or TikTok comment section. Yeah, all kind of just there down below.
Okay, bye. Jordan,
Yes.
you know what? Don't get out of my house
Whoa, revolutionary.
until we're done with the next episode.
Oh.
Then you have to leave, or I will shoot and kill you.
Jesus Christ. In the kneecaps, baby.